Good day, sir. Good day, classmates. I'm General D.R. Francisco, and this is the continuation of the report under Administering Questionnaires. So, first, we have the international dimensions on survey. With the globalization of business operations, managers often need to compare the business effectiveness of their subsidiaries in different countries. Researchers engaged in cross cultural research may attempt to trace the similarities and differences in the behavioral and attitudinal response of employees, consumers, or investors in different cultures. So, here, when the data are collected through questionnaires and occasionally through interviews. So it must or should pay attention to the measuring instruments and how are collected. So in addition, it should be in, sensitive to cultural differences in the use of certain terms. So here we have research that should be tailored to the different cultures like first spatial issues in instrumentation for cross-cultural research and issues in cross-cultural data collection. So first we have the spatial issues in instrumentation for cross-cultural research, which means it is important to ensure that the translation of the instrument to the local language matches accurately to the original language. For this purpose, the instrument should be first translated by a local expert. So here, for example, supposing that a comparative survey is to be done between, let's say, Japan or the US or the United States. So, and the researcher is a US national. So eventually, it must translated first to English to Japanese. So then the another bilingual should translate it back to English. So bilinguist, which means the one who speaks two languages. So issues that taken through back translation are vocabulary equivalence, that the words used have the same meaning. Next, the idiomatic equivalence. Some idioms unique to one language just to do not lend themselves for translation to another language. So here, it is mainly due to the close relations and commonalities existing between two or more languages. Next, we have the conceptual equivalence where the meanings of certain words could differ in different cultures, and yet another issue to which attention has to be paid. So here, another thing is that need to construct having the same meaning across group. So it is also the first requirement prior to conducting any comparison. So all these issues can be taken care of through good back translation by persons that who are fluent in the relevant languages and are also knowledgeable about the customs and the usages in the cultures concerned. So here we have the examples. One, Pepsi's come alive with the Pepsi's generation. When translated into Chinese, which means Pepsi brings your ancestors from the grave. Number two, from Purdue's chicken slogan. It takes a strong man to make a tender chicken. Um, we'll translate it to Spanish, which means it takes an arose man to make a chicken affectionate. Three, when American Airlines wanted to advertise its new leather first class seats to Mexico, its fly in leather campaign would have literally translated to fly naked in Spanish. Next, we have the issues in cross cultural data collection, which means there are three issues, or at least three issues, that are important for cross cultural data collection. First, we have the response equivalence. It is ensured by adopting uniform data collection procedures in the different cultures. So here, it is the continuation or the condition in which two or more related stimuli elicit the same response. Next, we have the timing of data collected across cultures is also a critical for cross-cultural comparison. Next, we have the data collection should be completed within acceptable time frames in the different countries. So here, it is a process of gathering and measuring information on variables of interest in an established systematic that enables one to answer stated research questions, test hypotheses, or even evaluate outcomes. So the question here is, how does the time affect data collection from all of this? So the time needed for collecting the data must be considered. So a survey that takes an hour to compare may be too long for most of the people. So this would limit the number of people willing to participate. In addition to that, the researcher has to be sensitive to this cultural nonsense while engaging in cross-cultural research. So it is worthwhile that collaborating with the local researcher while developing and administering the research instrument, particularly when the language and the customs of the respondents are different from those of the researcher. So that's the end of the report, and thank you.